Hey, thanks for finding the link or the QR code in our book. So this test... Hey, awesome. So you found the link or the QR code if you are reading the book. Did you already fill out the test of the cultural intelligence? Well, if you haven't done so, then this is probably a good time to do it because we're going to talk about how to score and how to really interpret the test results. So, as you might have already guessed, the test is all about cultural intelligence. And before we're going to get into the scores and what those mean, let's talk about cultural intelligence for a second. So, cultural intelligence, or CQ as many call it, is defined as the person's ability to adapt to a new cultural context. And there's a research team around Dr. David Thomas who's developed the exact test you've been using. And the test that they've used defines cultural intelligence by 3 different areas or facets. And the first area is called cultural knowledge, meaning that everything you know about a culture, right? Have you actually done your homework and read up on the culture that you've gone to? That influences your cultural intelligence when you're interacting with others. And these were the statements number 1 and 2 in the test. The second facet is called cross-cultural skills. So how much are you able to relate and be empathic towards others, and how much can you deal with uncertainty and ambiguity? So those were the statements number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in this test. And lastly, the third facet of this cultural intelligence test is cultural metacognition, meaning how much are you actually aware of culture having an impact on your communication, on the situations you're going through, and how much can you analyze those. So those are the statements number 8, 9, and 10 in this test. And now you can go back and see, okay, which of these areas do I have my strongest points in, and which areas do I might need to work on and improve a little. And of course, over the time and with more exposure to other cultures, typically we see these scores increase. Now let's talk about scores for a second, right? We're athletes, we like to keep track of our scores. So you have a 5-point scale, meaning the answers of this scale, of this questionnaire, have 5 points. And you would give yourself a 1 if you're on the left side of the score, of the scale, meaning not at all. And you would give yourself a 5 if you were on the right side of the scale. Totally agree. So as you can tell, there's a maximum score of 50 and a minimum score of 10. Now go ahead and calculate your score. And if you've scored a 50, you probably want to go back and redo the questionnaire because, let's be honest, you're the one that's filled it out and you're the one that's scoring yourself, right? So it's really easy to cheat. And because it's a subjective test, it's only as truthful, as honest as you have been. And since we want to track your development over the years and months abroad, I really would encourage you to be honest with yourself and see which areas you might need to work a little bit more on. Okay, well, now that you've done that, you've been honest to yourself, what can you do with that score? Well, ideally you would redo this test in a couple of months' time to see how the exposure and the experience of living in a different culture and interacting with people from different cultures every single day has had on your cultural intelligence score. Because we do believe, and I sincerely believe, that this is something that can be developed. Of course, you might have had more exposure during your childhood, but it's something that with more and more exposure you can develop cultural intelligence. You just have to be mindful of it. Okay, great. Well, if you have any more questions relating to cultural intelligence or anything else in the book, feel free to reach out. You can find me on Twitter at fitaxcultures, or you can send me an email at susan@fitacrosscultures.com. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then it's probably time to buy the book. because this is part of a video series that I've done in connection to a book we've just launched, which is called Play Abroad 101, Your Ultimate Guide to Success as an Athlete Abroad. And that means in this book there's a test that you can do, and the video is part of the debrief. So if you go to www.playabroad101.com, you can purchase the book, and then you can come back, and then this video will make so much more sense. Thanks so much. Bye.